My Yeti right here. Yeah, man, that's just how you do it. I
How
done
you do
already
it?
had already done had my apple cider vinegar. Yep. Yeah, man. You just there you go. You just get the squeeze on. Get the squeeze on.
So what are you
Yep.
squeezing there? A lime and a lemon?
Just a lemon. It's just a lemon. Yep. But this is one of these bad boys that'll make sure you get. You can do limes too, man. Limes are just as good.
So what's the green thing? That green thing.
Yeah, that's just for
It
when you
looks
do
like a
have
lime.
limes. Yep, they're just different settings. So for smaller limes, boom, put it right there. Squat.
Wow. Where do you get that from?
Well, they're really good for when you do margaritas and stuff like that. So that's kind of
You
why
get
we
it from
got it.
Amazon?
Yeah, yep, yeah. I guess it would just be called the lemon lime squeezer. Yeah, man, it's good stuff though. Good stuff. That's what little tricks of the trade, man. That's what keeps you ripped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
How,
funny, dude. I noticed like I look on Facebook and I see people, post pictures. Like I saw some guys from one of our arch rival schools, and they had some kind of golf outing or something. But man, them dudes look freaking terrible. You know what I mean?
no, I don't know what you mean. What did they look like?
Just like from a physical standpoint, man. I mean, they just look. Oh man, you going live already?
Huh?
You going live already? Yeah, man. Just from a
Man,
physicality
look at that
standpoint.
backdrop.
Well, Totem Pole Nation. We're live, aren't we? Are we live, Coach?
Are we live?
I, I,
What
I
did you
don't
do?
know.
Did you hit the button?
It's counting minutes. Yeah, it's counting minutes.
We are live.
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
Sorry about that. Uh, this is how we do it. Big shout out here, June the 9th. June the 9th. We're live here at Totem Pole Nation. Thank you guys for checking in with us this morning. Got some big birthday shout outs. I already posted those on my Facebook. So if you guys are watching, thank you guys for watching. Man, Jimmy Stargill, my man Bo Burke, my girl Miss Harada. Got this going on. This is huge. Big deal this weekend. Yep. And he is super fired up, man, because this new organization that he's with, they're doing it legit. They're doing it, professional. They're doing big interviews, big weigh-ins, everything, man. And apparently he's down to about 250. So yeah, man, he's dropped some serious lb since he was here, man, because he was huge for 265. He looked about 270, 275 leaving. But that's what happens when you go on vacation, man. You have a good time. Speaking of good times,
Some people
how
don't take
about
vacations.
some people live in vacations? You know what I mean? Their life is a vacation, you know? Heck yeah. But yeah, man. Hey, speaking of just unbelievable, how about the Florida Panthers last night? Huh? They
I don't know
scored
what
a
happened.
goal. They scored a goal with 3 minutes left to tie it, then get into overtime and take one from Vegas. So that's huge, man. The momentum swing in that series, I'm feeling it right now. So yeah, man. Hopefully, Jimmy Buckets and the boys can do the same. We bring a couple championships back here to the Sunshine State. But man, I want to talk about how awesome it was yesterday with your podcast with the GOAT, a guy I've always loved and respected, Tom Lemming. Man, wow.
Yeah, man. Tom Lemming. What a guy. What a great there's some great stories he told. I mean,
Man,
Randy Moss, LeBron James, Dan Marino, John Elway, Eric Dickerson, pretty much every player that's ever came out.
Peyton
Jeff
Manning.
George,
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, the guy that invented the 5-star system.
Yeah,
Tom Lemming.
that was so cool too because that one year he did it where he did 8 stars and he was like, man, everybody was confused. And that is confusing. But I remember us getting the magazines, looking at stuff and putting the bullseye on people that was on our schedule. Yeah, man,
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. But yeah, it makes me think, who have been, some of the best people that I've ever seen, in person. And it was pretty wild because just how the world works. Because yesterday you had one of the baddest dudes ever out of the 804, I believe, show up because I caught some footage of it. But the legendary Ox, Ken Oxendine, man, now that was a guy everybody wanted to grow up and be like in that Chesterfield, Chester, Richmond area, man. That guy was just nothing but a thoroughbred. I mean, dude was phenomenal, phenomenal linebacker, unstoppable at running back. And yeah, man, it was that was probably one of the most dominant guys that I had ever seen. But there's been a lot, man. That linebacker, the linebacker, oh man, for Annandale, Maurice Daniels, man, that guy was unblockable. There was a lot of players that and I remember going to the Hampton games and seeing, Ronald Curry and big tight end Bobby Blizzard, I believe they had.
Mm-hmm.
They had some studs. Aaron Kinney, we saw him, Keith Short, Darren Cott, those guys were
Damian Woody.
yeah, man, those were some bad dudes back then, man. So those are people that I think of, more or less during my playing days. David Terrell, Eric Sturdifin, Marcus McPhee, man. Those were some
Bruce
bad
Branch.
dudes. Yep. And yeah, man, those guys were some bad dudes. And thinking about, from being down here, I mean, dude, the guys at Lakewood, I mean, studs, man. Rodney Adams was as electrifying as the guys I've ever been around. And Marquez Valdez Scantlin, man, like I just remember how hard this guy would go in the weight room. He'd be over there squatting with the linemen, as a wide receiver that was only, maybe 180, 190, his junior, senior year. And then you had the Griffin twins who those guys were just on a level of working out that, is unseen, unmatched. These guys are doing David Goggins style workouts where these guys would just work out, until you kicked them out of the gym, until you had to close the gym. And then my main man, Isaiah Wynn, seeing that guy and how dominant he was. We had a few games where we were just up and referees wanted to throw flags and, they would whistle him every time he put a guy in the dirt, and he was doing it the way he was supposed to. His hands were inside and everything. And, there were a couple times where I just had to tell him, hey, man, you got to go old school. Throw up your flippers, man. Flipper block them. They're calling you for everything, man. They want to get this game over with, but yet they want to keep throwing flags. So yeah, man, those are guys that kind of went through my mind. But you being on the inside and seeing so much more. Let me hear a list of some of your guys, man. I mean, your list has got to be super impressive. Heck, I know when we were younger, you guys went and saw, AI, at the Arthur Ashe Center.
Yeah, I never saw Allen Iverson play football in person. Ronald Curry, we saw. Percy Harvin, Eddie Royal.
I believe you guys ended Tyrod Taylor's season one year at Meadowbrook, right?
Mm-hmm. And he was a sophomore. Tyrod was great.
How about that legendary finish?
Percy Harvin, he was a great high school player. One of the best probably in the history of Virginia. Great college player too. Won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. I mean, golly, man.
And your playing days too, man. You scroll back then, man. Arana had some serious studs.
Mm-hmm. Mike Robb was a great player.
Yeah, man. The
Happiness is the new rich. Happiness is the new rich.
Yeah, man. It is. You got to find it. And man, I found it last night.
Did
actually,
you?
Yeah, I did. I did actually. Can you scroll through Can you scroll through Twitter while you're on
Totem
here?
Pole or yours? Which
No,
one?
no, actually, Madness sent this to me, but he had posted, man. He found this guy. I believe his name was Paul Carroll.
Oh yeah.
Man. And so he sent it to me. So I started to watch it. Man, I must have watched 20 minutes. This guy was phenomenal, man. It just reminded me of like Johnny Cash. You
Yeah,
know,
it is. It is like Johnny
if we
Cash.
still had Johnny Cash, man, this guy, it was unbelievable. But I watched that and man, I just felt so good and at the end he was like, "Are you guys okay if I call it a night?" And I guess the granddaughter, she was like, "Oh, Papa, of course. You've been playing for over an hour." And I'm just like, "Wow, he's been doing this for an hour." You know, I called about 20 minutes, and I just could not turn away. But man, it just made me feel so good. You know, going to bed, listening to his voice. Are you trying to pull that up?
I mean, I mean, it's a very sad song he's singing, man.
Is that right? Well,
Yeah, I think so. Hold on. I get it.
The sobbing tear, then a tear of gladness. Sorrow shows a trusting heart just been broken. I saw a teardrop on the road. The sobbing tear that follows parting holds all the pain sorrow knows. A bus goodbye, a life was shattered. There lies the story on the road. Then a tear of
wow.
Yeah,
Man. Papa Carroll was the name, and that was off of TikTok right there. He went live on TikTok, and man, it was just phenomenal. And then in between songs, he would just talk with his granddaughter, and man, you just know that guy has a
yeah.
lot of love in his heart to still be able to do that. And that's what it reminded me of, man. It just reminded me of a Johnny Cash, you know, probably a guy that had lived such an amazing life. And I scrolled through a little bit and yeah, I guess he was married for over 63 years.
Wow.
Talk about the wisdom that guy must have. But yeah, man, let's go to this. This is
Yeah, I've been doing some experimentation with
okay.
some different apps and doing these shorts, and I found this one, and this is AI. This is artificial intelligence. Creates the clip, puts it all together.
Famous British catch wrestler Billy Robinson also.
How or did you know the Iron Sheik was originally a babyface?
Famous British catch wrestler Billy Robinson also was in Minnesota at the time and helped train the Iron Sheik. And they put him on TV, and he was a babyface, did well under his real name. And then everything happened in Iran with the Iranian hostage crisis. And anything with the name Iran or Iranian, you were a heel, buddy. You had heat in this country. Man. So Vern Gagne's wife said, Coach Ray, you're losing your hair. Why don't you, much like myself, you're losing your hair. Why don't you cut it all off and grow like an evil, snidely whiplash handlebar mustache? And they thought about it. She drew a little picture on a napkin at her kitchen table. And so you wear the garments, you'll have the boots, you'll come out and pretend you're from Iran. You are from Iran. You pretend you're an Arabian heel who hates America.
He pretends that he's an Arabian heel that hates America. I mean, it might be hard for him to do that, but he did. And this guy.
And then when they hate shit, I get fresh and shit. I keep it humble. My clap it humble. Woke up this morning and wonder, hey, shit, I get fresh as shit. I keep it humble. My closet like Dover Street used to be bumming. Some days I'm still bumming. The difference is now it's by choice. Got just to peek out the window. These little niggas different. They don't play Nintendo. They play with extendos. I hope you can limbo. That chopper gon' spin you around like a judge on a voice. I'm from a city where most niggas never get lucky enough to see something outside county limits. I ran up the ditches. I don't have no motherfucking business. Complain about nothing. Ain't got no time and no patience for lists. They be making up who they debating is better. Let's face it, he one of the greatest. No Bill Cosby shit, but if niggas is sleeping, then fuck 'em. Most niggas don't understand me. I don't do the Grammys. I be in my jammies on sofa. Most niggas don't understand me. Ferrari or Camry, I bet I look good in them both. Most niggas don't even get this cold. How you on top, but you don't got no bitches, I know. Most niggas don't even get this to giving a shit to their family for riches, I know. Look at my ceiling, it's endless. I'm sick of these bitch niggas feeling the sentence. It ain't in the vitamin C and they system to get rid of me. I'm a killer, relentless. On top of it, I sound like I'm still in the trenches. I come from the villa, I turn villains to victims. Regency, RIP, filler, your missus. A message for niggas that's feeling ambitious.
Man, that guy. How long do you think he works on that, Coach?
Well, that's
Years?
right off the dome, man.
Wow.
That's off the dome.
He's from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
I think I've.
Can you believe that? Fayetteville.
I think I caught a charge there one year. I think you guys got me out of it.
Hey, man. You know, that's what we do. Now, tomorrow, the package is being delivered. I'm going to pick it up at 11 o'clock or a.m. The old boys.
Is that right? Oh, good. You got that squared away?
It's squared away, and we are picking it up at 11 o'clock, and we will be documenting. Look at these guys. Man. Look at that. Now, that's wrestling. That's the greatest finishing move of all time. What do they call that?
I'm trying to see exactly what that is right there. Oh, yeah, that was the finisher right there. Yeah.
What did they call it?
Doomsday device.
The Doomsday device.
Yep. Nobody ever kicked out of that one.
Yeah.
That's back when you could use a finisher and it would actually work. Now these guys got to use their finisher 16 times.
So why is that? Is that because people think the match is over with when the finisher happens and they're like teasing the crowd?
I just think it's because they don't know how to work, and they don't know how to work the crowd and get them involved and, you know, get the pop and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a little acrobatic, but yeah, but go to this guy right here, man. This
Johnny
is the
Graves,
man.
Morgan Moses. Morgan Moses, Johnny Graves says. Now, this is a story right here from Tom Lemming.
He was on my All-American team. He wasn't the top player, but I went to see LeBron at in Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary. And the basketball coach had called me and said, you got to come and see him. But he wanted me to see his son, too, Cian Cotton, who is the center on the basketball team. I think he averaged 1 point a game with LeBron. And he played, and he actually was going to eventually wind up at Ohio State as a defensive tackle. So I go and I'm sitting in the locker room, and I don't really follow basketball, particularly high school players. So I didn't really know who LeBron was except all-state wide receiver. Had a lot of catches as a junior. So then LeBron comes in and we're talking, and he's kind of a quiet guy. He's not talking at all at that time. And finally I said, well, you're 6'8" and you're telling me you got a 43-inch vertical. I says, you'd be out of your mind not to play football. No corner could cover you. Then he says to me, well, I just got offered $7 million to play my high school senior in Italy in a pro league. And then I said, okay, well, maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here. I didn't realize who I was dealing with. And believe me, I knew nothing about him basketball-wise until I got to that school. But I got in my car, and a buddy of mine does a 50,000-watt radio show in Cleveland, Jeff Sindelar. His show, so I turn on his show, and the whole show is talking about the number one pick in next year's NBA draft will be.
Yeah.
He nailed it. He nailed it.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Next year's draft will be LeBron James.
Wow.
Man.
That is super cool, man. I was predicting the future.
And
yeah, if and Totem Pole Nation, if the next LeBron James is watching right now, go ahead and give us a call. We want to get you on. We want to pick your brain. We want to get you
Chance,
get
what's
you in the
up?
Spotlight, man.
Yeah,
we
man.
Want to get you in the spotlight.
I'm telling you. LeBron James.
Big Morgan Moses, man. That's a good name brought up because you know, when when I was at Lakewood, I needed some film, to show just the tenacity, the nastiness that a offensive lineman needs to display. It's always good to kind of have a role model. And that was the cool thing, a model, because that's kind of what Tom Lemming was saying, how he would pick guys as 5-star guys. He kind of had a model. But yeah, I would show Isaiah Wynn footage of Morgan Moses because he was putting people in the dirt and it was
We'll show you
nasty,
some
and that's
Mo.
what we wanted.
All right. Blanda asked him who was the greatest high school player he ever saw. Here it is.
To write for USA Today. And back in 92, there was a sophomore in West Virginia. And then I was sitting in the Pitt football office watching film. Actually, my son was like 4 years old. And I saw that kid. They go, you think the kids here in Western PA are good? Go look at this kid in West Virginia. And I drove down to it with my son to the high school. It was still before cell phones. So I had to call the coach. And it was Randy Moss as a sophomore at Bell and DuPont, which is a suburb of Charleston. And so I saw Randy, and he was a surly kind of a non-communicative kid, except for me because I put him in the next day with Dave.
I mean, I love how he says that. He's kind of a surly, non-communicative kid. Like he's got a description of him that is something he even used it for Michael Orr. He said he was a surly non-communicative.
And so I saw Randy, and he was a surly kind of a non-communicative kid, except for me because I put him in the next day with Dave Kreider on USA Today as the best player I'd seen in the country, and he's only a sophomore. So that gave him national publicity. He went from being a local star as a sophomore to a big national star because if somebody's saying you're the best player in the country and you're only a sophomore. So for the next couple of years, I'd come down to visit Randy, and he would talk to me. So,
he would talk to him.
Wow.
Randy Moss would talk to him.
Wow.
Man.
That's awesome. It almost feels like the relationship that we're building with Mr. Lucky. He's already a local legend. Now he's up with the Totem Pole Nation. He's going worldwide.
Lucky is special. He is a special talent. Not very often does talent come about like that. Now, you were talking about Morgan Moses. Some people don't know who Mo is out there. So I'm going to show you the film that Coach Bald showed Isaiah Wynn. Said, this is what we need you doing right here. So let me see. It's his junior film. All right, this was the film that I made that got him rated as the #1 offensive lineman in the country. And somebody else stole it and put it on YouTube. Here it is. I guess somebody didn't pay the Wi-Fi. Here, hold on. I don't know. Maybe this is so old that it's still on VHS. I mean, this was the days when you had to send out the VHS, man.
Wow.
I mean, you can't even see the whole screen here, man. What is going on? I mean, he dominated, man.
And that's what I needed. I just needed some dominant film. And
yeah,
he knew
dominated.
exactly what I wanted. He knew exactly what I wanted.
You gave him a mental. There he is pulling.
Yeah.
Boom. I'll put the arrow on him. Can y'all see the arrow? Probably not. This against Bird. Playing defensive end, a 2-point stance. Look at this guy. That guy looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex out there. I tell you, my favorite one's coming up against Prince George, dude. Man, this gets me happy. I'm happy right now.
And explain this, Coach. Like, you want to put your top 3 popping plays because coaches don't have that much time.
No.
To watch film.
Look at that. Oh, my gosh. You see him get to the next level?
That's what it's all about when you're playing.
Wait till you see this Prince George film. Wait till you see this Prince George clip. Look at that. He puts him over the pile. Ooh.
Oh boy,
If
you're
anybody
going for
knows
a
one of these
ride.
guys,
That's when you're going
one of
for
these
a ride.
guys, these are the guys you let live with you. These are the guys that you adopt. Like Michael Orr. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's what an NFL offensive lineman. Watch this. Watch this next play coming up when he hits this
In the end
linebacker,
zone.
dude. This is assault. This right here. Did you see that? Dude, that's my favorite one right there.
Bam!
See this?
Chip, bah.
Yeah. Look at that poor kid, dude. Does he have any chance? Look at the size differential. Look at that.
Yeah, man. I believe it was just like you're running through a speed bump, and you don't even notice the speed bumps there.
Yeah, man.
Like my wife drives full throttle, foot on the gas.
We're sitting there on signing day. It snowed about a foot. He was at Fork Union. He had 3 national letters in tent in front of him. It was Ohio State, LSU, and UVA. And he had Les Miles and what was the guy's name that was the coach at Ohio State at the time? Tressel.
Yeah.
He had Les Miles and Jim Tressel calling him,
Yeah.
wondering, is he going to sign it? I was like, dude, just sign with UVA. I mean, it's an hour away. If you're good enough to make it to the NFL, you will.
Yep.
Your parents are right here. Your uncle or, an uncle is, a booster. He's a season ticket holder. They'll take care of you. Like, does it matter where that guy goes to college? Does he have to go to Alabama? Does he have to go to Ohio State? I think they're going to find that guy. I mean, those guys are like Sasquatch. They're like Bigfoot. Instead of going out and chasing aliens, an alien just landed in Las Vegas, Coach. I'll show you the video of it.
Gosh.
Okay?
Oh,
Go
boy.
try to find those guys. That's what Tom Lemming does, is he goes out there and tries to find Sasquatches. He goes out there and tries to find Bigfoot. And they're hard to find, man. But when you find one like him, woo.
He was the original, man. He drove around, at 21, 22 years old, and he would act older, so he didn't seem like he was the same age as, some of the guys and stuff like that, man. That's just, that whole podcast was phenomenal. I'm so glad you got on, you got him on, man. That was phenomenal. And, definitely having, Coach there with, I
Coach
mean, man, yes, what respect he gave him. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, he's really the only guy I talked to in the Virginia area. Wow, Coach Blanda, man, that's nothing but huge respect coming from such a legend like that. But yeah, man, happiness is the new rich, inner peace is the new success, health is the new wealth, and kindness is the new cool. Oh, and speaking of kindness, this is it right here.
This is it, Coach. This is it. As you can see, 5/1/2023. You have a better chance of finding an alien spaceship than you do finding a Morgan Moses. All right. There's guys like Tom Lemming. They go all around the country. There was one Twitter in particular I was looking at. A dad said college scouts will really like what they see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if they see Morgan Moses, yeah, they're going to be very happy. So good luck finding a Morgan Moses. But check these guys out, Coach. Have you seen this, Coach?
I have not seen this. This is first time.
We've been talking a lot about aliens, haven't we? Now check this out.
It's
almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches this. Something in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. I've only saw a shooting star. Then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with...
Man, I just paused it, y'all, because I don't want to get a copyright violation, which we probably will. That's okay. They didn't like we're making money off of this.
Man, you got me scared, man. I'm back here looking for my dog, make sure no alien ate the dog. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
wait till you see what happens.
The caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard? Or
they see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
I don't blame them. So, Coach Bald, what are you thinking when you see that?
You know, I'm thinking that our guy, Bonesaw, aka the Madness, that he would be one that would have a lot more knowledge about stuff like this. We need to get him. We need to get him on, get his information about this. He may even talk to these people.
Yes.
For these things.
Did you see this tweet right here? Let me make this big, Coach. You might enjoy it. Did you see this?
I did not.
Did you see it? This is Elon Musk. All right.
Okay.
And he's talking about augmented reality. All right. As you can see here, he has Apple augmented reality. All right. It's $3,500. See that? Augmented reality. Then he's got this $20. Augmented reality. Make instant contact with UFOs and aliens by chemically changing your carbon vibration. Guaranteed to make you break on through to the other side.
Oh, boy.
Break on through to the other side. Yeah. The dark side of the moon, Coach. Yeah. Look at that. Elon Musk.
Wow.
What do you think, Coach? $3,500 for some Apple goggles.
You know, I think I would probably save a few bucks and go with the $20 route, see how far that got me if I was really.
How far do you think it can get you? Beyond space and time? Beyond this dimension? Will you be talking to aliens, Coach? Have you been abducted by aliens? Are you an alien? I like those goggles Coach got on. Those glasses. Man, I need to get some sunglasses, man. Every time we start talking about this topic, Coach's screen freezes up. All right, so NBA. The Nuggets and the Heat. Tonight's Friday night. Coach, he is back. Now, hold on. We have two of him.
All right, this is.
Something's going. Which Coach Bald am I talking to? I think Coach Bald has been cloned. NBA tonight. The Nuggets and the Heat. Put in the comments who you think's going to win. I think they're still down there in the Heat. I mean, Denver's got a chance to go up 3-1. Yeah, because they're 2-1 right now. Denver's got a chance to go up to 3-1. But Donnie Graves, you're exactly right. Morgan Moses. Woo. Man. I tell you, Totem Pole Nation, y'all are the best. We love you. You know, you mean everything to us. we are the low man on the totem pole. All right, we have Coach here. We have Coach's clone.
I tell you, man, it seems like every time we start digging into this, weird stuff starts happening, Coach.
Told us Oklahoma was winning WCWs. World College. Who was it that was it the guy that looked like an alien? Might have been, that's got the big vein running through his head. All right. I don't know who it was. Chance, was it you that said Oklahoma was going to win the Women's College World Series? Because, you know, I don't even know. Fast pitch softball, slow pitch softball. We used to go watch slow pitch all the time, Coach. Did you used to go watch slow pitch softball? Was very, very popular when I was a kid. They had professional slow pitch softball teams. And the king in his court. Do you know about the king in his court, Coach?
No, I want to hear all about it.
Well, I might have to just show you a short little video one.
Okay.
King, this guy was amazing. The king in his court. If you know about the king in his court, please put it down in the comments.
It sounds familiar.
King in his court was a guy who he could throw a softball underhanded fast pitch 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. And him and 3 other guys would go around the country playing softball. It was amazing, man. The king in his court, Eddie. This is one right here. I'll see if I can show this. Man, we're having all kinds of fun today, man. Look at these crazy videos and stuff. Apple Podcast people, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to watch the YouTube. We love you.
What happened with that?
They've been years. It's a softball team. They play for.
Well, I was just telling the Apple people they can't see the videos. I guess they can listen to it.
Against your 9. Won the story.
4 guys against 9.
They've been in existence for 15 years. It's a softball team. They play for. A story we turned to Fox 22's Rob Judson.
Leading off one of the little great sports comedians, and he'll make you laugh, Gary West.
They're like the Harlem Globetrotters kind of.
Batting second is one of the really premier pitchers in softball. He's been in 17 World and National Championships. He'll be pitching today a couple of innings.
Dude, did you see him throw that behind his back?
A couple of innings.
That was heat.
Robbie.
But that's not even Eddie. That's not even Eddie.
Batting third is a fellow that, you know, he's from Canada. He'll be pitching an inning. Mike Brachot.
And of course, batting fourth, the king himself, Eddie Feiner. It was 50 years ago when on a dare, Eddie Feiner formed his now legendary team.
The Oregon State champions were just on the other end of the dam. They were in Oregon. And one night we beat them quite badly. And there was some remark about my ancestors. I told the guy that made the remark, you know, I'd play as my catcher, but you'd walk us both. He said, you bring your catcher, shortstop, first baseman down here, and we'll play you.
I played against him, and when I was standing up to bat, he looked like the proverbial 800-pound gorilla. And certainly walking away from that game, and I didn't get a hit off him. Actually, he pitched a
That's what I meant.
My claim to fame for years after that was that Eddie Feiner did not strike me out. And that's kind of a sorry thing to brag about, but I kind of wore that with an air of distinction.
I'm going to play first base for the other team, Eddie. They need some help. We're doing all right. You couldn't help them. You never played on a 9-man team.
Anybody can play first base on a 9-man team. I've been watching their first baseman.
In their 50th season, the king and his court are not as serious as they used to be, but they still win, and they have fun doing it.
Dude, this guy struck out the entire Houston Astros team, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey man, when you're throwing the ball 114,
as video podcasters, it's always so difficult to find software that does everything you need.
Man, that's nuts.
Yeah, it is official, ladies and gentlemen. It is mosquito season here in Florida. That's right. wear your high socks because they're going to pull them down and bite
Sports
you.
Illustrated
Pull your
called him
socks
the
up
most
too.
underrated athlete of all time, ranked his squad of 4 players the 8th best sports team of the 20th century, and even though he never played baseball, ESPN called him one of the 10 best pitchers in baseball history. Eddie Feiner was banned from his sport multiple times for being too good, struck out over 8,000 batters while blindfolded.
I was his bat boy at Shepherd Stadium, dude. I got to be their bat boy when I was a kid.
Wow.
And threw 238 perfect
Is there any
games.
footage of
He
that?
was so good,
Maybe.
the United States hired him as a government agent to bring back information on foreign countries. He went to North Korea, played on the North Pole, even faced Fidel Castro. And while alive, threw a fastball faster than any other major leaguer and did it underhanded.
Behind the
He
back.
was also arguably a crazy person. He was abandoned at a hospital at birth, was admitted to the psych ward multiple times, attempted suicide multiple times, pitched every season for over 50 years, traveled over 4 million miles, mostly by van.
I mean, from what you're hearing, what do you think, Coach Bald? Have you ever heard of this guy before?
This guy is a modern day hero. We need to get him on the podcast.
Oh, he's gone, long gone, dude. He was old when I was a kid.
Wow.
And refused to rest. But how fast did Eddie Feiner actually throw? How did he go from making over $100,000 a month to $40,000 a year? And why Eddie Feiner may be the greatest athlete of all time.
They were like the hard. They were like the. They were
It's
like.
safe to say that no player accomplished more in their sport than Eddie Feiner did in softball. He traveled the world every year for over 50 years in a van, playing up to 250 games in a 6-month span, meaning that from March until September, he averaged 1.4 games per day. He pitched 2 and sometimes 3 games in one
That's
day.
Willie
And
Mays.
during games he didn't play, he drove his team's bus to the next game. This drew in over 20 million live spectators throughout his career.
Yeah.
Because Eddie Feiner would pitch blindfolded, behind his back,
Nolan Ryan
between his legs,
of,
from second base,
Best Pitch
sometimes
Softball,
even from
Dude, this guy was amazing, dude. They need to make a movie about this guy, man. Like,
center
maybe I could
field
play his
and
part.
trolled his opponents with a comedy routine while doing it. On the surface, Eddie Feiner may look like a clown traveling the country in a van, but in reality, he had one of the most remarkable athletic talents in the world, allowing him to at one point make more money than anyone in baseball. His career also took tragic turn the worst, at times making him bankrupt and extremely bitter. His team was similar to the Harlem Globetrotters, but unlike them, he wasn't facing bums. He traveled city to city, challenging everyone from local teams to the best softball teams in the world,
That's Roberto
and beat
Clemente.
them with only 4 players.
Yep.
Him, a catcher, a first baseman, and a shortstop, and literally beat the world champions of softball multiple times. Calling Eddie Feiner the best athlete ever may seem like clickbait, but what other player in any other sport in history could play the best team in their sport with less than half of their teammates while blindfolded and still win? Eddie Feiner did this and was able to for one reason. He had a pitch so dominant and went so fast, science can't even explain it. And it all started with him playing softball in a maximum security penitentiary. Eddie Feiner was abandoned at birth because, according to him, his father was his real mother's brother-in-law. To avoid embarrassment, Eddie was taken from his mother at birth and dropped off at a hospital.
My son came to me probably about 6 months ago and goes, Dad, have you ever heard of this guy who's the greatest athlete no one's ever heard of? And I was like, yeah, I was his bat boy. He was like, what? I was like, dude, I was his bat boy. Like, I was in the dugout with them. It was him and 3 other guys at Shepherd Stadium, and they picked me out of the crowd to be their bat boy. Man, isn't that wild? We've lived a wild life, dude.
That is insane, man. That is insane.
I mean, I was just thinking about it yesterday when I was walking down to my room after practice. I'm getting ready to talk to Tom Lemming. That, you know, Dan Marino was his first guy, Eric Dickerson, John Elway. Like, What is going on? I'm the low man on the totem pole. But we're not in control of this.
We're still here.
We are being led. I mean, we're like the Blues Brothers.
Jake and Elwood.
Man, that's a great movie. Should I show them when we went to the church? Because I think it's me and you. Do you remember that? I have footage of this. Do you remember?
As long as we don't get no copyright infringements, man, go for it.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get a copyright infringement.
Yeah. Is it statute of limitation or no?
Yeah, but I don't know if you remember this when we went to that church.
Oh, boy.
There's footage of it. Oh, I got to present my screen.
I'm not going to deny or confirm.
Okay. Here we go, baby. Now, this was taken a long time ago. This is me and Coach Bald.
That's how it all started. This is where everything changed.
Yeah, this is when Totem Pole got its beginning right here.
Jake, are you all right? The band.
Do you see the light? The band. Do you see the light?
What light?
Have you seen the light?
Go to the light.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
God bless Christ. I have seen the light. The band, Elwood! The band!
The band? Band. Band? The band!
Praise God!
And God bless the United States of America!
And God bless the United States of America, Totem Pole Nation. Coach Bald and Coach Bald's clone.
My AI.
These two guys right here will live in infamy. You know, he died right after this movie, man. Wow, what a talent. What a talent he was.
Yeah, man. That was a
Happiness
classic.
is the New Rich. John Belushi, Chris Farley. They had all the money in the world, but they weren't happy. Man. Are you happy, Coach Bald?
I am, man. I'm excited. It's Friday. The grind includes Friday. Got a huge weekend. St. Pete Rejuvenate doing big things in the St. Pete, Florida area. Huge shout out to them. Check out their website when you log on right now. you'll have a pop-up for the free IV hydration therapy. It is a game changer. They're doing a lot of game-changing things there. So definitely check out the website. Give us a phone call or give us a text. We'll get right back to you right away. And a huge shout out to Cultivate Wellness. Health is wealth these days. Everybody struggles with something different, and everybody is different. Go in there. They've got some amazing products. Talk to Julia if you're over by the Pike. She's family. She'll get you squared away. She'll look out for you like family. But yeah, Totem Pole Nation, we love what we got going on here. Huge shout out to the Squared Circle Maniacs, aka the Stone Cold Mafia. They just indicted a few new members. Welcome to the family, man. This thing is growing. It's getting bigger, stronger, faster right now, and I'm super excited about it. Mr. Lucky, the Madness, aka Bonesaw. Huge shout out to the Cyborg. We will be streaming the fight live here tomorrow, so tune in. We don't know exactly what time the fight is going on, so have your information close by. We're going to be posting that on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever we can. We got to get this fight scene. I know a lot of people are checking it out, and I'm super excited about it. Coach Troy Taylor, Route 10 coach, what is going on? Let me hear your thoughts in this show.
Yeah, we're the low man on the totem pole, but we know who's on the top, and we know who's leading the way. The good Lord, and we have been so blessed. Look at that backyard. Look at that. Both boys, the movie will be coming out soon. The tapes are being delivered. Nelk boys, you stole their idea. Jerky boys, you were our heroes. We loved you. Chris Farley, John Belushi, Adam Sandler. Man, the GOATs.
Yeah. We've been doing this for over 35 years, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are going to see the footage from it here very, very soon. Be patient. Man. Totem Pole Nation, we love you guys. To the next episode. Tune in tomorrow. You will see Cyborg fighting live here at Totem Pole Nation.
I can't wait.
Can't wait.